All right, y'all. We back at it again. This is the last one with brother Tony. I think this is gonna wrap it up with him. Um, like I said before, um, I don't have no hate or nothing for Tony, man. I just disagree with him on a point. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So those of y'all that want to, come over here and be mad at me just because I disagree with the man. I mean, come on, man. Look, he got 20 something thousand more subscribers just since I've been talking about him, and I ain't got probably two or three. Right? I'm not, glad you trying to get views and clout and subscribers off of Tony. Yeah, right. Ain't none of these people coming over here, man. Ain't nobody coming over here. I just wanted to have a conversation with the brother. I thought we might engage each other and we would, we would offer each other, a bit of you know, a nice exercise in getting our points across. But obviously, that's probably not a good move for Tony. That's probably not a good move for him. Excuse me. So that's probably why he's doing the best thing and just avoiding me like the plague. Shout out to him though, man. Hope his business grows exponentially, man. But I understand. I definitely understand. So I'm not in the dark about why these people don't, Charleston and Princella and all, and Vlad. I understand why they avoid me. I've invited them all over here. I understand why they avoid me. I got it. I'm good. I know that you recognize I'm Ali, you Sonny Liston. If you actually step in the ring, it's gonna go bad. So just avoid it, right? Just avoid it, right? I'm Clubber Lang, you Rocky. The beatdown is gonna be truth wise, fact wise, it's just gonna be bad. So I understand. So I ain't mad at nobody for not and like I said, I got a real job, you know. I got things. So I mean, although I would enjoy being able to get the message of truth out there to lots more people, hey, if I got to do it one at a time, I got to do one at a time. You know what I mean? Shout out to guys like Tony, guys like Charleston, guys like people like Princella that built that thing up by however they did it, whatever. Man, good for them. You know what I'm saying? So if I disagree with you, if you put out a public video and it's not for your people that signed up with you, members, what I'm saying? If it's not for your members and it's public, and I disagree with a point or a position on it, I'm gonna say something about it, just like I did with Kevin Samuels, just like I did with everybody else. I ain't I ain't scared of none of these dudes, man. I mean, come on, man. It's not no big deal. And I know they're not scared of me. It's not no big deal. It's not even about being scared. It's a business move for them. I understand. It's a business move for them. They're not speaking with me because it's a business move. It would be a bad business move to talk to me publicly. But I get it. I'm not tripping over that. But I just want to reiterate that because a lot of, some people would think, oh man, you always talking about Tony, you always talking about Charleston, you always talking about Priscilla, because you're trying to get views off of them. Really? What views? For what? I'm not monetized, so what is more views? If 100,000 people look at this video, I'm not gonna make a dime from it. So what? So what? Now what I am worried about is one person saying, man, you know what, I almost followed some advice that I was questioning, and you kind of cleared it up for me. Thank you. That I wouldn't be happy with. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, enough about that, man. I mean, like I said, made Tony have great success. Everything blow up for him. It's already blowing up for him. So what does he need to talk to LA dude? You know what I mean? Hub City Roller. Why do you need to talk to a Hub City Roller, right? You need to talk to me, man. I'm just out here, in LA, South LA. You know what I'm saying? And so, why talk to me, right? I understand. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep pushing your program. But if you put out information and I see it and I disagree with it, don't be surprised if I put a video out saying, hey, this is what I disagree with. Right? All right, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. This is Brother Tony Gaskins, life relationship coach. And he's telling us 5 things that a woman shouldn't tell a man up front. I think we down to number 4 or 5. So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Go to coaching and don't try to dump all of your trauma and your pain, which we talked about in number 1, but this is a more specific example. Don't tell the specific details of your past relationship. The reason why is when you tell a man that you have had hands put on you and you stayed, now he knows he can put hands on you. That if he makes you fall in love enough and he gets in good enough with you and y'all get deep enough in the trenches.
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC next to your business name? Say hello to Taylor Brand. You just go to their...
He could put hands on you and you can forgive him and stay with him. And he knows that you may be more likely to forgive him than your ex if he gets you in deep enough, because he knows you don't want to have to go through failure after failure after failure after failure. So a lot of times you'll put up with more instead of putting up with less. Now, some people, they won't put up with anything that next time after. But some people will end up putting up with more because they're like, if this is happening again, this must be normal. This must be a part of a relationship. This must be what happens. And if I leave this one, now I got to go back to my friends and family with my head hung low.
All right. What y'all think, man? Y'all think that if a woman was being abused in a relationship prior to the previous relationship to getting with you, do you think that's important information for you to have? Or would you say to yourself, you know what? I don't need to know that she was abused in that situation, because even though that probably would have an effect on how she's going to behave in this situation, I don't need to know that. Because, you know what I mean, it's none of my business, right? Well, I mean, some of y'all might go for that. I wouldn't go for that. You know what I mean? I don't expect a woman to come out on the first date and tell me everything like that. But at least by the 3rd or 4th date, I should kind of have a better idea of how, you know, of her position on stuff. And if there was a major issue in the last relationship, then I think I would want to know, because it may pop up its head in this relationship. You know, and so you know, because you're looking at a girl and you're saying, man, this girl's beautiful. Why is she single? Why is she not being successful in these relationships? What's going on? Right? I mean, if she's so good of a catch, why is she out here, and why is she why is she ending up with so many frogs? What's going on? Is it her decision making that's the problem? What is it? Or is she just attracting dudes like this? What's going on? Something is going on, right? You don't see a woman that's good and cool and she gets with the right type of dude and she's back on the street a year later. No, I do to wrap her up. But you see good women, man, well, so, quote unquote good, you know, and for some reason they're always single, and you like, what? Wait a minute, every time you turn around, it's not your fault that you in this situation, you know, you having these issues. What's going on? You got to look at it like, okay, why is a woman that's so desirable single all the time? What's going on there? But this is stuff you need to know, man, so you can make a good decision. And I'm just saying, man, you know, I'm not saying you got to tell everything. What I'm saying is major situations that may have an effect on the new relationship, that stuff should be coming up. I'm married. I'm getting a divorce. I'm going through the divorce right now. I'm you know, I had to file bankruptcy 6 months ago. Just stuff that people need to know what's going on, so they can kind of understand what's happening, and then they can make a decision on what they want to do, right? If they want to stay, if they want to go. Some people gonna leave. Why? Because they look at the situation that you're talking about and they say, "Uh-oh, this is not a good situation for me," right? It'll benefit you that I stay, but it's going to drive me into the ground. That's not good. So they're going to roll for their own safety. They make it look, man, I'll tell you, man, cats like this and other people that's similar, kind of got similar kind of advice, they make it look like you a bad person for jetting out because of your own safety, right? You recognize that something may not be it may be a safety issue involved, right? It may be a health condition. A health reason why you got to leave, right? Or you feel like this ain't gonna work out. They make it seem like you a bad person for jetting. No, if a person leave, let me tell you something, man. I always say this, and I'm gonna always say this. Rejection is God's kiss on the forehead. Rejection is God's kiss on the forehead. If somebody rejects you, that's because the spirit in that person recognizes that this ain't gonna work, and it's gonna be an even bigger problem later trying to deal with this situation, and they trying to give you a pass now. Get out now, take it. Rejection is mercy. Somebody rejects you, that's merciful. But see, you know what? We so vain, we so caught up in our own vanity. I ain't gonna be rejected, so I'm gonna hide what I've been through. That's critical to this man making a decision, right? Because that's what I'm hearing. Maybe I'm not hearing it right. Maybe I'm not hearing this right. Because what I'm basically hearing is hide everything that's gonna cause a problem, and then on the marriage night, that's when you drop it. After you got that ring, then you say, okay. That wasn't really me that you was talking to the whole time. This is really me. I'm depressed, right? I'm depressed. I got visions of unaliving myself. I can't seem to hold a steady job. I got nightmares. I need heavy counseling. But you didn't ever see that person, right? You saw the representative. And this person is telling you, hey, that's what you need to do. You need to just manipulate this person into a marriage. And then when you in a marriage with them, that's when you can start telling them stuff. I say, some stuff, yeah. Some stuff, man, you don't have to tell every little thing. But stuff that may affect the relationship. Hey, I was abused. Well, did you ever go get counseling for that? Nope. But I've had 10 relationships since then, and they just, for some reason, they don't work out. You think? You think? Maybe you need to go get some counseling. Anyway, man, I don't want to drag this one out. But I'm just saying, man, if somebody been abused in a relationship, man or female, and they haven't gotten counseling behind it, maybe that could be a problem for your current relationship. Because you're going to have to take the burden of that dysfunction on if they never got it straightened out so they can learn how to not be dysfunctional to you. You're going to have to take that on. But this man is saying, hey, fool the man. Fool the man until you get get that ring. And then when you get that ring, now you can say, hey, you can take the mask off and say, that wasn't me. It wasn't? No. That wasn't me. That was my representative. That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I was just being represented by that person. That wasn't me. Okay? Now you gotta figure out, oh shit, I got a whole new person I gotta meet. Right? Now you gotta meet the real person, right? I'm depressed. I got problems with my I got problems with my my vision of myself. I mean, you find out all these different issues, right? And you're like, man, that wasn't what I signed up for, right? Like Jacob, right? Jacob goes to the man and says, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work for you for 7 years. And I want this wife, I want this daughter, this particular daughter, I want that daughter. The man said, okay, no problem. Work for me for 7 years. I'll give you that daughter. Then when Jacob do his time, he said, hey man, my time is up, man. I did my 7 years. Give me the girl. So Jacob goes into the room. Of course, it's dark in there, right? Who they send in there? They send in the older daughter. They send the older daughter in there, right? Jacob don't realize who he's with until he gets up in the morning. He finds out in the daytime. He's like, wait, what? Wait, what? He said, I asked you for this daughter, not this daughter. And the man said, well, you know how we get down. You know how we get down. We get down over here, man, where, the older daughter has to go first. Yeah, but why didn't tell me that? I would have rolled out. I wouldn't have never even agreed to them 7 years, right? That's basically what this dude is doing, right? Hey, you agree, right? Based on the person that you met, and then now you married to a whole nother person. You're like, wait, what? Now he gave up 7 years of his life and he married the wrong daughter. Now you got to do another 7 just to marry the one that he really wanted. It's game, man. It's all game. It's all game. All right, let's get back to Tony. And Tony says, hey, man, well, see, now this is one thing I agree with, man, is going to the, what you call it, what's that, therapy. Going to therapy. I agree with going to therapy. Life coaching, not so much. Can't take traumas to a life coach. They are not trained to deal with people that are easily triggered and they have serious trauma. You're not trained for that. Man, you got to go to school for that. You can't just be like, I'm going to take you in, man. That's why a pastor should only go so far. Unless he's got a license, unless he's trained and got a license, why should he be taken in and listening to people with serious traumas? That's why so many people are running around here right now with traumas that are not being dealt with because they're taking them to church, or they're taking them to life coaches, or they're taking them to relationship coaches, and they're taking them to people that's unqualified to actually help them. You ain't hearing me. I know people got businesses, right? I'm in the business of, helping people with their relationships. Oh, that's cool if you got a license and you've been to school and you know what I'm saying, you got the education to do it in the best way. But most of these people out here don't. They just started a YouTube page, started social media, and they just giving out advice. But the problem is, man, you know what I'm saying? If you really got a big following, some of these people will listen to you and they'll do what you're telling them to do. And you looking at it from your perspective, not theirs. That you need to be looking at it from their perspective. What's going to be best for them in their situation? They might not, the situation, the escape plan you might have might be totally different for this person who got children with this man, got, assets with this man, got all kind of stuff going on with this man, right? Might even work with the man. But that's another conversation. Anyway, let's get back to Tony and 5 things a woman should not tell a man up front.
So, in shame, and I have another failed relationship. If you tell a man that you got cheated on and you stayed, now you have just told him he could cheat on you. And so the thing about it is he may not even want to be with you for life. He may just want to waste your time for a year or two. So although he knows you eventually left your ex, he's okay with that, because if you get the strength to leave him, he's already had you. He's already slept with you. He's already used you, abused you. He's already done what he need to do. Got the money off of you for his business idea. Live with you for the time he needed somewhere to lay his head. Borrowed your car for the time he needed a car. So by the time you get fed up and you say, well, I'm finna leave your butt too, just like I left my exes, he like, good riddance. I'm done with you anyways. I'm ready to move on to the next woman. So do not talk about your past relationship. Don't talk about your ex with your next. Keep that now. The fifth thing you don't want to tell a man is really ain't nothing else really super pressing. So if somebody made a video on this, they had to sit down and come up with some topics. Of course, there's other stuff you shouldn't tell, but it's not earth shattering. The fifth thing you don't want to tell is too much of your family business. Meaning you don't want to tell too much of your mama issues, your daddy issues, your children. If you have children, you don't want to tell too much of their issues and things they've gone through. So this still lumps in, but I'm going to separate it, because sometimes we'll look and say, well, I ain't talking about myself, but I'm talking about my mama. And I'm getting this off my chest. And I'm going to talk about how my mom was.
Okay. I agree with him to a point. Yeah, man, that's kind of stuff you can learn later. But I'm going to always stand on this. Anything that you going through that could affect that current relationship needs to be told. It needs to be told. You and your mother not getting along, and you got some financial issues that you got to work through, got a lawyer involved, and a lot of stuff like that. Hey, the guy needs to know that, right? You having, custody issues with the ex-husband. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The current dude you dating needs to know that there may be a problem. Because, see, what a lot of people like to do is they like to just don't say nothing, right? They just don't say nothing. And then when the problem occurs, a problem comes up, right? Now you got two men that never met each other, and they at each other's throats, right? For what? And just because the one dude is trying to be the white knight, and the other dude is trying to push his program, and instead of telling the white knight up front what was going on, so he could be looking out for the dude, he gets surprised, and he just reacts instead of responding to the situation, right? He don't even get a chance to go over it in his head. Well, what should I do? What I got to lose if I, do I know this girl long enough to even get involved in something like this? Or what's going on? You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. Don't tell too much of your family business. I understand that. Except, here's my exception. If it's something that's going to have an impact on the current relationship. If it's something that's going to have an impact on the current relationship, tell it. All right, let's get back to Tony.
This or was that, or how my dad was this or was that. It still allows a man to paint a picture and to make a decision on you. But hey, this my wife calling me. I got to go. Those are 5 things you should never tell a man.
All right, that's Tony. He said there's 5 things. Those are 5 things you should never tell a man. You guys know that I disagree with most of it. I think his idea, his heart is in the right place on trying to protect a woman, but I think ultimately in using this philosophy to do it, I think ultimately it's going to hurt the man, and then ultimately that man is going to hurt the relationship, because he's already coming into this relationship at a disadvantage, because now you got somebody hiding information from you, and then pertinent information. I mean, I'm not saying you got to tell everything. Oh, my baby daughter wears blue shoes. No, you don't have to tell them everything like that, but I'm just saying there's pertinent information to him making a decision whether he's going to proceed in a relationship with you or not. Proceed in a committed relationship, ultimately leading to matrimony. That is a very critical decision for most men. That's a critical decision. It is very critical, you know? And so we need as much information as we can have to decide whether we should do that or not. And to hide that information, I think, is a manipulative. And, you know, but I don't think he's trying to be manipulative. I think he's just trying to look out for the women. But unfortunately, in doing it this way, I don't see how it's going to benefit women, because ultimately, in the long run, somebody's going to say, why you didn't tell me this up front? Why you didn't tell me this? I wouldn't even be here right now if you had told me that. That's why I didn't tell you, because I didn't want you to leave. How's that good for me? How's that good for me? You know what I mean? You know, my job as a human being is self-preservation first, right? I should be looking out for myself in a relationship, right? But you took that power away from me by not saying something that was going to impact this relationship. Anyway, tell me what y'all think, man. I mean, you know, I just feel like, man, you know, you tell as much of it up front as you can, and, you know, that makes sense. You know, like I said, you don't have to tell everything. Oh, my daughter has glasses that are 150 instead of 100. You know, just come on. You know, you have to tell everything, but you got to, but things that are pertinent to the decision-making process that the man is going to have to make to decide whether he wants to continue or go further in a relationship or a committed relationship. That stuff needs to be told up front. All right, y'all. This is Tony Gaston. Go sub to the man. You know what I'm saying? Go check him out. Go sub to him, man. You know what I mean? Go check him out, and you know, all the best to him. All the best to, you know, his crew. Whatever, right? Don't look for Tony to come over here. He probably won't. But, you know, man, I have nothing against him. I have nothing, you know, nothing but you know, love for him, man. Man, he make millions and millions of dollars, man. Hey, go ahead. Just hopefully he starts seeing, at least thinking about, maybe I could approach that a different way. Maybe. And then maybe he'll see. Because I noticed that people like this, they usually think about things that they would do, right? So they say, a man is going to do this. A man is going to do that. They don't say, when I was a man, when I was out there, this is what I would do. So I think a lot of guys probably would do the same thing. They don't qualify it like that, right? They just say, a man is going to do this, right? Because they never met a man like me. A man is going to do that, because you ain't never met nobody like me. Because I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't do this, right? But I'm still thrown in with the rest of the dudes that would do something like that, right? Because they no qualifiers. Shout out to Cynthia G, right? There ain't no qualifier. All black men are terrible. Shout out to the Queen Baker. All black men are incapable of love, right? Yeah. Anyway, y'all, this is it, man. 5 things that, you know, a woman shouldn't tell a man. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the comments. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to everybody else out there, man. And, you know, you guys want to, if any of one of you want to, not debate, because I don't really want to debate with anyone, but I definitely would like to have a conversation with someone. I mean, with one of you, you know, anybody that might be interested in talking about something interesting. Come on and hit me up, right? I guess as long as you don't have a whole bunch of subscribers, you good, right? All right, y'all. Peace.